I just turned 24. And birthdays are just these weird things where suddenly you're another age. Nothing physically feels different until a few months later. But I decided to make some goals for the next year before I turned 25. I initially went through 24 different ideas and are left with 5. So number 1 is to dive deeper into my craft. I think a big example of that is you're actually watching this on a brand new lens I have. That was my little birthday treat to myself. Like, I'm about a hand width from my camera, so it feels very funny to be so close. I think just overall studying film and in like an independent sense to capture moments, memories, that kind of stuff. Above all, I definitely want to experiment more and kind of go back to, I believe it was February or March when I made Desolate. I want to make more of the experimental short film kind of stuff. I think it's very fun to express things that I'm feeling, but in a colorful sense. It's very abstract, but I enjoy that whole process a whole lot. I also want to attend a film class. Now that I live in Chicago, there's so many places I could go. I found a few places that I'm interested in taking a class or two in just to meet people nearby, maybe work on a project together. I found a lot of my past projects to be so fun, and it's because of the people I get surrounded with, and I just want to build that sense of community in this new area. And if you don't personally know me, you probably don't know, but I have over a 500-day streak in Duolingo for Spanish. It is my long-term goal to be at a basic fluency level and be able to travel abroad, particularly Spain. So I took high school Spanish for 2 years and never really forgot it all, so it's just been fun to dive back into it, build up from what I already know. I can tell that I'm slowly learning it, just it's taking forever. But that's definitely a big goal of mine, is to continue doing that and just make that language barrier in the future way less. Because I feel like you should know a little bit about the place that you're going as a tourist, and I want to appreciate Spain especially. I think it would be fun to actually engage with people and not just stick to touristy areas. That doesn't seem like you're actually experiencing the place. And then I also set a goal this year, actually, but I didn't quite meet it. I wanted to read a book every month, which doesn't sound like that sounds normal, but I'm going to lower that next year. So I'm going to try to do 6 because I'm a pretty light reader, prefer visual stuff. I mean, that's why I do videos. And so with that, I did also want to increase the types of films that I watch in this category, because I feel like you need to appreciate it. And also that helps you define your style, what choices you want to make. But then reading to get just various knowledge from either nonfiction or just kind of learn characters and storylines and all that to make possible short films in the future. But reading will help with like the imagery process, which I think would help with overall storyboarding and just seeing the video before it's actually made. So I don't really have a set number for these books and films that I want to watch. It'll probably be like at least 6 books for the year. I don't want to set too high of a goal and then not make it, because that feels less satisfying. But if I say 6, but then I end up reading like 8, I feel like I just did a lot more. So we're going to stick to 6 books. Movies, that's a lot easier. That's way less of a time commitment. We'll just try to watch new genres that I don't typically watch. A lot of foreign films I think would be fun to watch. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. And a big one for me, and I'm kind of holding one this whole time, is to journal more and just overall practice mindfulness. I think being aware of quality time, how you're using your time in a healthy manner, either like yoga, exercise regularly, overall aware of how you're existing, being intentional, is a huge goal always of mine, but I want to continue that into my 24th year. Overall, keep body and mind healthy and be present. And my 5th, but not least goal is to travel more. And I think this will be very easily achievable now that we're kind of getting settled in. It's going to be wintertime. We can save up, hopefully, a trip out west. I've been to various Western states, but I want to actually drive out there and just see the in-between. It's very wide. It's a lot of miles in between. So I think it would be pretty to actually see everything on the ground and experience those small little towns, every like little quirk here and there, instead of just landing into an airport and you're there. Just kind of experience it more slowly, and I think that'll let you appreciate it more. And now that we're also living in the Midwest region, I think there's so many more places that we could possibly camp. There's so many places around here that we can get to within like a 6-hour drive that I think would be very lovely for a weekend trip. But just getting to know this whole region is very fun, and I've enjoyed it so far, so I am excited for when the spring comes back. And considering everything, I think these goals are very realistic. I think everything will help me grow as a person. I think it's very fun to just sit down and reflect and look forward to the future. So if you've already made it to this point, you may as well subscribe if you haven't already. I do appreciate that you've watched to this point. Until next time, see ya.